Thank you so much, Katlego. Yes, we are talking about our bodies this morning, and we're taking your calls on 08391333728. Doctor, so many people calling, asking questions about antibiotic resistance. It's something that we are learning more about on the show today. In fact, we had a call all the way from Alberton. He's asking this morning, when it comes to replacement, I mean, we spoke about washing hands, food preparation, also simple things around the home that one can do to avoid eventually having to take antibiotics, like a flu injection. Is ozone therapy an option?
Not for traditional infections. Certainly the role of antibiotics in treating bacterial infections is primary. That is the recognized mainstay, scientifically proven therapy. There are many other untested therapies that can be tried, but certainly they will never replace antibiotics. And that's why the message around protecting antibiotics is so important, because they are irreplaceable.
I can't help but point out that yesterday we had a guest on the show that has a plant-based lifestyle, because he felt that, you know, because of animal fat and animals and what they do to them, it's a problem when we consume it, and as humans we just can't handle it. Tell me about the concept around One Health. It's become popular in medicine. What does it really mean?
So One Health is a movement that recognizes that human health is totally linked to the health of animals and our environment. And it really brings together professionals from many different disciplines who wouldn't ordinarily work together, like veterinarians, epidemiologists, climatologists, to work for optimum health of animals, humans, and the ecosystem.
And you just said it now. How does our health, how is it affected by animal health?
Sure. So there is a lot of antibiotic use in the animal industry, farming and livestock, even fish farming uses antibiotics. And those antibiotics are then spread through the food chain, so we eventually consume them in what we eat every day.
So in simple terms, if we have a well cow, will the well animal get antibiotics?
So what happens in the industry is that antibiotics are used when the animals are not sick. It's added to the food as a growth promoter, and basically that boosts the growth of the animal so that it can be taken to slaughter even sooner than they would be otherwise. And that's completely inappropriate use of antibiotics.
But doctor, this is a key example of neglecting animal health, and it does affect us as humans. It's a problem.
Absolutely.
Where does this leave us? I mean, immediately we feel we're in trouble. We spoke about how where we are now is more problematic than what it was 10 and 20 years ago.
Yes.
I mean, is there research? Are we moving forward?
So there is a lot of research being done, particularly around the area of drug discovery, because we know that we haven't had a new class of antibiotics produced in several decades. And this is a real problem, because the old ones that we have are fast becoming resistant. So millions of dollars really are needed to invest in new drugs. And you can understand from a pharmaceutical company's perspective, it's not good business sense to be in the antibiotic production business. We use them for a short period of time only. Whereas if you produce an anti-diabetic or an anti-hypertensive, billions of people will be taking it every day for the rest of their lives.
It's not something that's far away from us. I mean, the phone lines are ringing right now. I'm going to take a call, 08391333728. You're live on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Good morning. Ilana here. Hi, Ina.
Good morning, Doctor.
Hi.
Ina, you can ask your question or comment. We'd love to listen to you.
Okay, yes. I just want to give a comment on the antibiotics. My husband picked up the MRSA virus in a government hospital with a hip replacement in 2005, which with several doctors, they couldn't cure him. He nearly lost his life. So they referred him to a professor in the Mill Park Hospital, which removes the procedures, and the only antibiotic that could treat him to pull him through was divoxin, which is a very scarce antibiotic. But it pulled him through, although they couldn't put it back again. Up to now, he's in a wheelchair, but the doctors just pulled him through. That's why I just want to give my comment on this for patients that's also, got this virus.
Thank you so much for your call this morning. Really brave. So there we hear a key example that this is real.
And this story of Ina's husband is not unusual. This is happening every day in public and private facilities in South Africa and throughout the world. So the infection her husband had is something called staph, you may have heard of. It's a bacteria which can become resistant, and then it's MRSA, and it needs really specialized antibiotics to treat. And as she said, if you get it in a joint or some kind of joint replacement, there is no way you can treat it without removing that prosthesis. And you can hear he was really ill, he nearly died, and this is the real effect that antibiotic resistance is having on patients in hospitals throughout the world.
Thank you for your calls this morning, and thank you for being brave. A wow moment indeed as we are chatting about antibiotic resistance. This affects all of our lives, and we'd love to hear from you this morning on 083-913-3728. Dr. Angela is in our studio ready to listen to your comments and your questions. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we'll be back right after the break.